Frank, last night you said you were surprised. I showed you guys were 16th, I think, in efficiency defensively.
I know where we're at. Just it feels like we're not proving our way.
Is that what? I'm wondering, where do you think? Obviously, this roster shifted over the last few years, more offensive-minded players and stuff like that. But where are you guys competing on that side of the ball? Where are things going well? Where do you think the biggest deficiencies have been?
Biggest deficiencies on defense?
Mm-hmm.
But we're not playing with as much size as we played in the past because of the offensive perimeter shooting that we had in the past when we played with two centers or two set players, say AD and big. We don't have that type of offensive space, so we're playing a lot smaller lineups, and we don't have the defensive speed and defensive talent that we've had the last couple of years. But our guys are competing to learn a system that they're all in. Basically, all of them are in year one executing, and we're working through that stuff. And obviously, when you have those variables changing, you're in a situation where you're adjusting your scheme as well. While you're working through that.
Frank, in the past, you've talked about removing the result from film study, especially.
For sure.
Is that something that at this point in the season is truly possible?
Yes, 100%.
How do you get the group to kind of move on, especially when you're on a cold streak like you have been the last week or so?
Yeah, there's answers in every game, and to try to brush that off to the side, things are definitely not going to change. But the growth mindset, putting in the work, the internal improvement and the pure spirit, okay, is the only thing we have right now. Okay, and that is enough, honestly. To continue to grow, to take the lessons from last night's game and the game before that, and apply them to the next. Okay, stick into that process and continuing to put in the work is the answer. And we'll pay dividends.
Can you tell us any more about, I guess, Avery was technically active yesterday.
Yes.
Taylor, the late scratch. What was going on with him?
Yeah, so Avery was available. We found out, in his morning work. We didn't anticipate him coming back Saturday. Found out his morning work. That he wanted to give it a go, but he hadn't played, the game in 2 weeks, and with the way some of the other guys were playing, I chose to, give him another couple of days. The rest of that game, have him available if we want to go to him. The way the game went in the third quarter, chose not to go, having not played. With Talon was hopeful to play. When he warmed up at Crypto before the game, had enough pain to give him pause that maybe he should be out there. And if he was going to be limited, he's probably not going to help us. So he was a late scratch.
Frank, the challenges this team face, obviously there's big picture stuff, there's small picture stuff. Have you seen that? Is this group focused enough on the granular right now without thinking of how do we fix all of this? Instead of maybe we fix one thing, we fix two things, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the tone that our coaches have to set, and the expectation. My coach has done a great job. Continuing to be very, very detailed with the game plans of their scouts, and we have stayed the course in terms of being very detailed with our post-game evaluations, analysis, and next day work. So you're asking if we're still being detail-oriented, granular, 100%. The process is something we all really believe in. We put in the work. Okay, we will see the growth. We'll see the improvement.
Do you see the? I asked this. Do you see the same enthusiasm for the work for the players? Even as things have obviously gotten worse, gotten harder. Have you seen guys still like to your point? Is the answers are in the work? Have you seen that buy?
Absolutely. Frustrated that we're not getting over the hump, but still doing plenty enough to to get ourselves close to the point where we feel like, the momentum can shift. We had 24 assists while shooting 1 for 16 on open threes last night. And we're looking at a 33, 35 assist night. Okay, we shoot on our normal, our normal percentages. A lot of positives were because of switching and guys competing, guarding one-on-one. Some of our drop coverages had to be better last night. Okay, but there's execution pieces that, with new personnel, with AD being out, White being in there longer, there's new pieces involved, new chemistries that have to be formed with those guys. So, we all want this to have happened yesterday, but we'll continue to put in the work.
Hey, Coach, good to see you again. Actually, talking about defense has been your calling card in this league, dating back to your days in Indiana. But from what we have seen last night with the current roster makeup and the way our team attacking right now, it's really hard. It's really difficult for you guys to contain like some of those high volume scoring right now on nightly basis. So I remember last time when I sit here, you were preaching faith and confidence. So right now, where are you looking to find ways to give more stops and give a final go, in the next few weeks?
Yeah, the answer is in the details. We're really hammering home the details of our defense, and believe that it will. We're close to the momentum turning. And our guys are remaining confident, and believing that it will happen.
Thank you.
Dave, Frank, yesterday or last night, you entertained the idea that there's been discussions within your coaching staff about Russ's role and whether he'd remain in the starting lineup or not. What does that look like, or what does that sound like? What would it look like if he came off the bench?
Honestly, I'm not really going to get into that. We have discussions just like the front office has thousands of trade discussions every trade deadline. And they don't discuss it every one of those. Most of them don't come to fruition, and that's where we're at with Russ. So as we said, is there a path where that's the better option? We have talked about that. We talked about everything that we can do with our team. Okay, we're not there. So to add to that.
I have a follow on him. Offensive struggles or offensive production aside, defensively, what's he been able to do in terms of what you ask of him on that end?
Well, to have a great defense, you need physicality and athleticism. That's to the table for us. He fights and competes in his matchups, and it's something that's needed if we're going to turn things around defensively.
Thank you.
Cooper?
Hey, Frank. There was a stretch during last night's game in the third quarter where I believe the Clippers switched Zubats onto Westbrook, and I'm just curious as to what you saw during that stretch or things you might be able to learn going forwards from it.
Yeah, when we play small ball, they're going to hide their centers where they can. As we pointed out this today, that all of our guards, whether it's all of our players, honestly, have to be able to, to attack that the appropriate way. Russ had a good drive to the basket where he got to the rim, for a layup, and lost a few of the other battles, but they put the 5 on LeBron, whether they put them on Melo, whether they put them on Kalen, Avery, like any of these guys, we can all be screeners, okay, and we can all move the defense. When we see that out situation thrown at us, so we have to be better in attacking it, and we will be.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Frank.